Hey, this is Phil Frost from Main Street ROI, and I put this video together to show you how to identify your biggest opportunities to increase revenue from your online marketing. And more specifically, I want to show you when is your website conversion rate your bigger opportunity. So when should you be focused on improving your website conversion rates versus all the other options with online marketing. Now the process I'm going to show you is the same process I use with my private clients, and it's based on the 4 pillars of online marketing success. And those 4 pillars, first one here is traffic. T stands for traffic. That's how many visitors are coming to your website on a monthly basis. Now the second pillar is conversion rate. So all that traffic's coming to your website, how many of those visitors are you converting to customers? And the third pillar is value. So you're sending traffic to your website, you're converting them to customers. Now how much is a customer worth to your business? That's the customer value. And all 3 of these pillars are how you calculate your revenue. You can simply multiply them all up, and that gives you your monthly revenue from your online marketing. So you multiply your traffic times your conversion rate, multiply that times your customer value, that gives you your revenue. So there's a 4th pillar there, and this, I'll put it over here. 4th pillar is tracking, because the only way you'll know how much traffic you're getting, the only way you know your conversion rate and your customer value is if you're tracking all of that information. That's why the 4th pillar is absolutely critical. You need to be tracking this information. So these 3 pillars here, traffic, conversion, and value, are the only ways to increase the revenue from your online marketing. So my goal here with this video is to determine which one should you be focused on. And I created a previous video to show you when is traffic your biggest opportunity, and this time I want to focus in on when is conversion rate your biggest opportunity. And it's really, there's 3 criteria here. The first criteria is you want to look at your traffic. Put a check mark there, because that tells you you have traffic coming to your website, and you have traffic coming from multiple sources. Now, if you do not have traffic, then traffic's your #1 priority. And if you're only getting traffic from one source, then you should really prioritize traffic to find another source to diversify. But if you do have traffic and it's coming from multiple sources, then it's possible that conversion rate may be your biggest opportunity. And the next thing you want to look at is what's called your EPC. EPC just stands for earnings per click. So how much are you making per click to your website? Or what's the value of a visitor to your website? Now, EPC is a critical factor in your online marketing, and you calculate that. It's very easy to calculate. You're just going to multiply your conversion rate times your customer value. That's the same conversion rate here and the same value here. And let's just use a very basic example. Let's say your conversion rate is 1%, so you convert 1 customer out of 100 visitors to your website. It's a pretty good conversion rate. And then let's say your value per customer is $500. That means your EPC is $5. Now the reason we're looking at EPC is because you want to know whether or not you could go out and buy traffic with your current EPC. If you can, and you watched my previous video, if you can go out and buy more traffic right now, then that should be your #1 priority. You don't need to increase your conversion rates or your customer value. You're all set, just go out and buy more traffic. But if your EPC here, which is $5, if that's too low to go out and buy more traffic, then it's possible that conversion rate or your value are your biggest opportunities. And you can check that by just going to Google's keyword tool, do a couple searches to see the cost per click of all of relevant keywords in your industry. And if the cost per click is over $5 in this example, then you know you can't profitably advertise on those keywords. For example, if you go out and find keywords and they cost $7 or they cost $10, you could advertise on those, but you're going to lose money. You're going to spend $10 to drive someone to your website when you know you make only $5 per visitor. So you're going to lose $5 for every visitor, for every click on an ad. That's not a good business decision. So if you're in that situation, you need to focus in on either conversion rate or customer value. And you'll know which one by this third criteria, and that's just, you cannot currently increase your customer value. So maybe you have no opportunity to raise prices, there's no way to add an upsell, add in some cross-sells, partner offers, create a customer referral program. Those are all different ways to increase your customer value. It's possible right now you don't have an opportunity to do that, and if that's the case and you have multiple sources of traffic, your EPC is too low to go out and buy more traffic, and you cannot increase your customer value, then conversion rate, so increasing the website conversion rate, is your biggest opportunity to increase revenue. And that may be going out and increasing or improving your sales copywriting, so the copy on your website. Maybe it's changing the layout of your website to funnel more folks into a web form. Maybe the call to action, making it more prominent on your website so you get more folks to call you. Maybe it's even improving your offline aspects of your business, like in-person sales scripts or phone sales scripts. Lots of ways to increase your customer value, or your conversion rate, but at least now you know that's where you need to focus. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this process here of figuring out where should you be focusing in your online marketing, whether it's more traffic, increasing your customer value, or increasing your conversion rate, because at least once you figure out where you need to focus, now you can dig in and implement and make changes that are going to have an impact on your business. If you got value out of this and you'd like to work with me personally, where I'll go through this process with you, I'll dig into your business, look at your traffic, your conversion rate, and your customer value, look at your tracking, and just make sure everything is set up properly, and then identify your biggest opportunities. If that sounds interesting to you, send an email to breakthrough@mainstreetroi.com. We have a new program we just started where I will work with you personally to find your biggest opportunities and then help you execute on those opportunities. For example, if we find out that conversion rate is your biggest opportunity, I'll work with you on implementing ways to increase your conversion rates. Or if traffic is your biggest opportunity, I'll help you find more traffic sources to send more customers, more prospects to your website and increase your revenue. Or it's possible that customer value is your bigger opportunity, and I'll work with you to increase your value. So again, if that's something that sounds interesting, send an email to breakthrough@mainstreetroi.com, and we'll follow up with all the details of that program. And if it's a good fit, the next step would be to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. That's a free consultation, 30 minutes. I'll go through this process. I'll basically create a marketing plan for you based on your best opportunities. And then if it's a good fit, if I'm confident I can help you, then we will talk about next steps. And then again, we'll start executing on your biggest opportunity on a monthly basis. So I hope you got some value out of this video. And again, if it sounds like something you're interested in, shoot an email to breakthrough@mainstreetroi.com, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks.